Welcome to the Bellevue ground for tonight's Stones Bitter Championship game between Wigan and Wakefield, which should have taken place last Sunday. Unfortunately, it was postponed because of the third test match, a match in both Hampson and Gregory received injuries and are not in the Wigan line-out tonight. However, a certain piquancy is added as there are a number of former Wiganers included in the Trinity team. I feel sure that Kiwi Adrian Shelford and South African Nicky du Toit and Gerard Byrne, formerly with Wigan and St Patrick's, and David Jones, who played for the St Patrick's Amateur Rugby League Club, will have a point to make tonight as they turn out to face their old comrades. Wigan showing quite a few changes in the original lineup as Hampson is injured. Joe Lydon, of course, has been moved to full-back to take his place, to stand in for him, and that meant that Marshall has been brought in onto the left wing. Andy Gregory, of course, injured in the test match, missing tonight, and his place is going to be taken by Bobby Goulding. Wigan then from left to right, a hard one along the ground, just into the 25, not very deep. Wakefield now going to have to fight the way out of, met by a solid wall of Wigan defenders. A lot of shouting going on among the players in these early stages. Ball tight behind, play the ball. Wigan shoving the Trinity team back. Wigan lining up. Moving in quickly, coming round the narrow side, and that strong running. Good strong running by Trinity. Thompson attacked in half-back, trying to get his team moving. Flung back for the kick. Dermot going back for it, letting it roll, lands it on. Out onto Lydon. Lydon getting the team moving. Dermot, good dummy. Bringing Marshall inside. Wigan now just inside. As Edwards going very wide. Trying to bring Scarrett through, dead centre of the field. Dermot waiting for the play the ball. Hanley doing the dummy run. Betts coming through hard, lets the ball roll back, snapped up by Wigan. Well taken, a loose pass. Wigan attacking hard as Dean Bell goes tearing down over the 25 line. He has support on the inside. Can't get the ball inside. But that was a good move by Wigan as they broke through well down the left wing. Dean Bell really motoring, takes play into the 25, however it will be. Trinity to feed. Trinity with the loose head. Bit of a hold-up, an injury, slight minor injury to a Wakefield player. Pack's being held apart. In it goes, Pack's wheeling. Bell bringing it away well before he meets the Wigan defenders. Little jink from acting half-back, gains a good 10 yards. Wakefield supporters liked that one. Wakefield keeping the ball very tight at the moment, playing it close in, around the play the ball. One pass from them Bash, not got the backs moving yet. A lobbed pass, Wigan going in. Strong running by Shelford. Shelford trying to get it out, still powerful running, but not a lot of ground gain, just moving across the field. Wakefield spectators screaming to get the Wigan players on side, but they're in line with the referee as we come up to the last tattle. Nice little shimmy, a run inside, ball's gone astray, loose on the floor, and it squirts out to the Wigan side. The referee gives the Wigan the handover, comes out to Edwards at a poor line out from it. A long pass comes to Iro. Iro drops it behind. No, the referee said he dropped it forward, and Wigan must have lost about 15 yards there. They were extremely slow getting into the line out. Will be Bell to feed. Shoots straight out. Pops it in again. Feeds. Bell running away, being chased by Goulding. Goulding hanging on to him, hangs on to his jersey. Goulding in again quickly. Detroit didn't get very far in that run. Now it's Glancy trying to batter his way through. There's Thompson trying to clear them away from the play of the ball. Conway trying to get his backs moving. Onto the hooker, onto Thompson. Thompson being mauled and put down just inside the Wigan half. Bell up to acting half-back, doing a little switch. And a long pass comes out onto the wingman. Out to Wilson, but he's easily taken. Plays it back to Mason. Mason moving it inside. A high kick, that's an awkward one. It's got snow on it. Dermott's going under it, can't take it. Trinity have it. Well taken by Price, the second row man. And Wigan in for the last tattle, so it's a handover. Wigan running a little bit wide, trying to clear the lines from outside the 25. Dermott coming over from behind the play of the ball. There's a little dummy from behind the play of the ball. Wigan are nearly through. They go charging forward. Gap was nearly there. Wigan forward. Once again, it's turned back, and with battering the way down the middle, fighting the way into the Trinity half as Dermott and Trinity line up very, very close. Little dummy from Edwards, not quite through. Dermott going to the right wing, he's lost, turns it back in the middle to Lucas. Goulding, a little overhead kick, and he's following it. I don't think he's going to get there first, it's covered. Oh, there's a late tackle, and Goulding has been flattened, and the touch judge didn't see it. Should have been watching that. Goulding was fell after he failed to tackle a man, but he was taken out of the game, and now it's Wilson trying to come through, and he's bounced down by Lucas. Thompson from acting half-back. Lucas tackling well again. Moved across by Price onto Shelford. Shelford trying to show his own mates what he can do, but this time they nail him. And there's a lot of leeway round that play of the ball. 5 tattles gone, says the referee. There's a little overhead kick. Edwards is back there, doesn't take it, and this is all over a try as it's flung out. And they're in. And it's been brought back. Referees brought them back and giving Wigan a penalty. Well, that little overhead kick split Wigan as Edwards and another player went back for it, and there was an obstruction and Wigan were cut wide open. Lucas now taking them on, and he's on his own. There are no Wigan players anywhere near him. They're having a little conference in the middle of the field. Dermott. Platt trying to force his way through. Wigan now attacking when down the left wing, having to come inside as the cover goes across. And they've had the ball taken off them, and they're streaking over the halfway line. There's a lot of cherry and white jerseys there. Wigan caught napping, and now Wakefield hot on the attack, turning it on. They're spreading Wigan. They have a big overlap out on this wing. If they can keep it going, turning towards the line. Mason going well. It's taken on the 25 line, and Wigan have had time to regroup. Detroit coming over to act in half-back. Detroit moves it inside, onto Price, onto Shelford. Shelford being chased across field, manages to lob the ball across, out onto Byrne. Byrne hands off one. Byrne coming in again strongly, bringing his wingman inside, bringing Jones inside, and Jones is pushed back. Wakefield throwing everything except the kitchen sink at Wigan at the moment. And Wigan are under a lot of pressure as Trinity now spreading the ball about more than they've done at all so far in the game. A long one comes out to Detroit. He's broken through, taken from behind. Getmeister turning inside, and good cover tackling by Wigan. Snuffed them out. 5 tackles gone. Mason hoists a high one. Dermott's under it. He doesn't take it clean. Mason's dropped it. So there were 2 knocks on. Referee will give the scrum down. Dermot couldn't take it. Mason couldn't take it. So with scrum down, 10 yards away from the Wigan line. Pressure as Bell comes over to feed the scrum. Referees into the front rows. There's a bit of argy-bargy going on between these. Quickly out to Conway. Conway moving it across. Switch back to Conway. Conway get away from line. There's a big overlap as Byrne goes for the line. A bad pass out to Jones, and Wigan have got time to recover. And the referee not happy with it, giving the scrum down, not taken cleanly. Well, Wakefield came away well from that scrum. Wigan to feed, a great roar coming from the other side of the field. All Wigan can do is fall on it, and they're being hammered in their own 25. Wakefield are full of determination. Wigan fighting for every inch. And most of it's brute force and ignorance, and now they spread it across to Hanley. Hanley trying to come down the middle, and there are 3 men there to take him. Dermot waiting behind the play of the ball. Edwards moving it out. And for once Wigan managed to gain a lot of ground, and it was hard earned. It was with sweat and toil. Flung back to Lydon. This time Lydon heists a deep one, and he's knocked on, and he does well to recover. Slater made a real mess of that, and he was another fraction of a second, and the Wigan follow-uppers would have been onto it, so it would be Wigan to feed, and now they're in a good attacking position if they can get it out from here. 5 yards outside the 25, and they've lost it with the head. Bell coming away well. 2 bells, that was the Nigel Bell who came away, followed by Dean Bell. Mason plays the ball. Thompson turns it inside onto Glancy. Glancy's bounced down. Thompson. Lucas has moved up quickly and takes his man, hanging on to him. He needs help to put him down though. But he moved in well, did Lucas. Moved up very, very quickly. Conway, and there's a lot of strength, and Wigan are getting knocked off the ball as Hanley comes in to cover. Mason bounces Mason down in the 5th tackle. Coming to Lydon on his own 25. That's Myers with him, he's hanging on to it, goes inside, happy to keep possession, play out the 6 tackles. Myers turns it inside onto Iro. Iro running wide, trying to put his shoulder in, doesn't make any progress. Dermot to Edwards. Edwards doing a short pass. Wigan trying to crash the way through. Can't get out of this stranglehold of the Trinity defence, and that Dermot gains a good 10 yards from acting half-back. Goulding coming up to Edwards. Edwards onto Bell. Bell holding it, bringing Iro inside. Iro so strong. Managed to get it back onto Edwards. Edwards had to jump over him. Good run by Edwards. He was impeded by his own player. He leapfrogged him. Wigan should be lining up for the kick. Lydon seeming to having to change his step. He always seems to have to change direction when he's taking these kicks. And Wigan are going to be given offside, I think. No, the referee's letting it go. I think he was going to say it was a handover, as Wigan followed that up. Wakefield back in their own 25, and the acting half-back allowed to run 10 yards before anybody meets him. Wakefield are very alert, and Wigan penalised for an offence in the play of the ball. Jared Byrne fouled as he was getting up to play the ball. "23 minutes gone in this first half. Wigan never really set any sort of attack up at all. Wakefield territorially and in possession have been top dogs so far in this first half. Well, they're certainly fired up, this Trinity team. Switch on to Mason. Mason makes a lovely breakthrough. Well taken from behind and smashed down to the deck. Shelford coming in hard, but this time being forced back as 3 Wigan players surround him. Grab a kick. Should be covered, but Wigan let it go into touch, so it'll be there put in their own 25. But Wigan not threatened inside the Trinity half. Wigan spent a lot of time, and there's a substitution being made. I think it's Skerritt who is going off. Not seen a lot of him. Can't see which Wigan player has been brought on. Wigan now trying to bring it away from inside their own 25. I can't at the moment see whether it's Gildart or Goodway who's come on. Tight among the forwards still as Dermott comes up. Edwards handing it on. Wigan coming up well. Marshall going up to the halfway line. He did a good run there. Referee going over. Not happy with it. Wigan get a penalty on the halfway line. Few yards in from the touch line. Lydon finds it 10 yards outside the 25. Now what can Wigan do? There's 2 balls on the field. Game being held up. Once again, Wigan employing this tactic of a forward coming. Golding doing the run around. Back to Golding. Nearly intercepted. It's been played on. Snapped up by Wigan. That was a loose pass by Golding. The referee hasn't signalled back to one, which I would have thought. Dean Bell moving it inside onto Myers. Myers knocks one up. Myers still going, dancing his way through. As Dermott comes up. On Golding. Wigan battling the way forward. That's the only word for it. It's not. They're not doing it by guile, and now they're trying to dance away over the 25 line, up to the 25 eventually. Now Wigan are lying deep. Moving it across field. Edwards turns it back. Hanley can't get it inside. 5 tackles gone, says the referee. Lydon hoists a high one. Not a very deep one, where all the Wigan players are under it. This should be Wigan's ball. They should get it back. It goes out to Marshall, coming inside. Wigan now, for the first time, 15 yards out. Can they turn this into points as they move it out? And once again, it's head down and crash forward. Dermott coming over. Little run, and Wigan keeping it tight in the forwards, shoving the way up to 10 yards from the try line. Golding holding it, and he's bounced down for his pains. Wigan don't seem to get into any cohesion at all. Long one onto Iro. Iro trying to get over, he's held 5 yards out. Referee says 5 tackles had gone as Myers comes up onto Edwards. Edwards puts a high kick over the defence, and they're going to be given offside. Wigan go over, but they're given offside. Referee judging they were in front of the kick. So it's a penalty to Wakefield, bit of a let-off for them. They decide they're going to take the tap and play out the 6 tackles. Wigan will be trying to pin them down there as the half-back grovels his way forward. Crossfield goes Glancy, not gaining any ground. Wigan held them well in that move. Little dance from behind the play of the ball. Wigan holding on. And the referee going to give a forward pass. Wigan should get possession from this. Got 10 minutes to go to half time. 2 points in it. As Golding feeds, we lost the last one, gets it out to Edwards. Edwards holding it, moving it across onto Lydon. Lydon can't get out of that. He got that standing still. Hanley coming over onto Edwards. Edwards running wide. Gets away from one tackle, still going. Bringing the man inside. Wigan going hard for the line. Down 20 yards out. Wigan not playing with much coordination or plan at the moment. They're in a good attacking position, but they don't seem to be able to get going. With Dermot trying to cut through. Had Hanley at his elbow, but he couldn't get it out. Hanley moving across. Edwards holding it. Short pass, Wigan going for the line. And the referee's given it. And Goodway, who has come on for a substitute for Skerrett, managed to force his way over. Wigan seemed to be struggling there, 20 yards out, and suddenly Edwards went very wide, managed to slip his pass, and Goodway, using his strength and his force, managed to bang it down over the line. Well, that didn't provide Joe Lydon with much of a problem. So, with about 8 minutes or so to go to half-time, Wigan take the lead. It's the first time they put any pressure, managed to get any pressure in. And it isn't Skerrett who's gone off. I think it's Lucas. I don't see Lucas on the field. I've just spotted Skerrett. So it's Lucas who's gone off and been substituted by Goodway, who got the try on the board for Wigan. Wigan now coming away from their own 25. And they've held Trinity for a long, long time, with Trinity not managed to score. Wigan first blood as Dermot struggles his way forward. Deep one coming to Slater, sits up for him nicely. And that's a good run, and then a belting tackle. An absolute cruncher of a tackle. Thompson from behind to play the ball. De Toit going crossfield, gaining no ground at all. Wigan can stand that all day. Thompson from behind to play the ball. Wigan holding them easily at the moment on the halfway line. Managed to get the pass in. Mason can't take it. It's Slater who's come up. 5 tackles gone, says the referee. As Conway comes over, left-footed, he kicks, and that bounced nicely for him. He finds it 5 yards from the line. Wigan then, 5 yards from their own life. Golding to put it in. Pipe wheeled, it's coming out to Golding, taking it across the field, hanging on to it, playing it safe, as it tucked under his jumper. And Nigel Bell was in very quickly there to snuff out Wigan, trying to clear the line. The big men should be doing this. Get it to 10 yards out. War of attrition between these packs. Now Hanley decides he's having a go and he makes a break. Couldn't get it to Edwards, who was coming through so well at his side. 5 tackles gone. Back to Lydon. This time Lydon's in the right place for a kick. It's a deep one. Beautifully taken by the wingman. Well taken by Wilson. He goes inside, meets 4 Wiganers and dies. Some fierce tackling going on among these two packs as Thompson comes in, lobs a wide one. Shelford turning inside, is picked up and bounced down like a sack of spuds. Did well to hang on to the ball then. Wigan coming in, can't steal it off Detroit as he's bundled over on the halfway line. Conway waiting behind to play the ball. Little kick again, he's kicked so well, but this time that's not going to find touch as Lydon goes back for it, leaves it to Myers. Myers running crossfield, straightening up, faced by three blue jerseys, and eventually Mason buries him. Wigan running crossfield, no ground being gained. And it's hard to make territory. Little mauling going on in the tattling. Referee right on the spot. Wigan now moving it out wide. Hanley standing still, trying to get away, and he's through. They can't get with him, and he's followed from behind. Well, he did well from a standing start onto Iro. Iro coming inside, not showing his usual power. 5 tackles gone, and it's Edwards who puts in a long raking kick into the 25 line. Slater going across, has it covered. The Wigan line should be up there. It's a bit ragged. And then there's a good tackle executed. Thompson from behind to play the ball, trying to run through. Wasted tackle, one feels. Nigel Bell flicking it out onto Shelford. Shelford puts his shoulder in, throws a bad pass. Referee's letting it go. It's gone backwards, he says. Now Trinity are getting a little bit ragged, and this game gone off the boil a little bit. It's a lot of effort, but not much being shown for it, and we're on the last tackle as the left-footed kick comes through. Lydon has it 20 yards out. Bringing Marshall inside. Lydon coming up to act in half-back. Gets it out onto Hanley. Hanley trying to come through the middle. Tattle low and well. Wanting to get up and play it, and Detroit won't let him. And the referee has penalised him for it. Couple of minutes to go of normal time as Wigan bang it into touch. Platt wanting it on the burst, and he takes it, and he gains a good 15 yards of ground. He was powering forward then as it goes out onto Goulding. Goulding moving it across. Wigan going tearing through, and then their ankles are tapped. Yes, I think. Wigan now looking a little bit livelier this last couple of minutes, combining better. Hanley trying to get that, seemed to hesitate, and then suddenly scythes through. Edwards. Wigan fighting the way up the 25, are held in the 5th tackle. I think they're hoping for an up and under here. Lydon takes it, hoists a high one. Wigan are chasing it in the in-goal area, and it couldn't, and Wigan just couldn't get up to it before it rolled dead. Tap from the 25. Well, I thought ball rolled dead from the 25. They've gained 8 yards. Byrne battling his way. This is not the prettiest. The ball's been dropped. Wigan can't take. Referees let it go. Crowders screaming for a knock-on. Edwards lobs a long one out onto Hanley. Hanley bringing Lydon inside. Lydon running back into trouble. Goes back into the middle of the field. Goulding handing it on. Wigan forwards. Trying to bring it up the middle. Wigan working a run-around move here, and Edwards is through, but dealed through. Beautiful, the support on the inside. And once again, Wigan go in beautifully. They cut them wide open right on the stroke of half-time. Goodway getting his second try. Well, Wigan were obviously working a set move there. There was a lot of crisscrossing, intermoving, and as a result, Goodway was left with an opening he could have got a bus through. And now Wigan, right on the stroke of half-time, beginning to get on top. There goes the hooter for the end of a desperately hard-fought first half. Wakefield spectators are not happy. Wakefield had put in a lot of effort, but have not managed. You must give Wigan the due. They've been under a lot of pressure, been under a lot of attack, but they've managed to hold out. And on the rare occasions when they've managed to get into the Trinity 25, they've managed to turn it into points. And so the half-time score, Wakefield 2, Wigan 12. Well, this crowd is very vociferous. There's quite a good crowd here. We start the second half. Wigan with both subs on. Betts and Lucas having gone off. Gildart and Goodway on. Wigan now from the kick-off, coming away up to the 25 nearly. Dragging the way up to the 25 line. Dermot waiting for the play of the ball. Wigan playing it safe and steady as Glancy goes into the tattle. And a penalty to Wigan for offside at the play of the ball. Wigan coming through quickly, and referee saying they weren't back as far as he wanted them back. So Joe Lydon will start off kicking for touch. And he's very fortunate to find that one. Didn't go in cleanly. Wigan purposefully forcing the way down the field through the forwards. Edwards, long one out to Hanley. Hanley going through, being held up, but takes it to 35 yards out. Referee trying to sort them out. Hanley gets up. Edwards holding it, turning it back inside. Platt charging forward. Wigan with this 10-point lead as Dermot. Wigan held in the fifth tattle on the 25 line. Edward and a high ball hoisted. Wigan lay off, they don't get offside. Taken cleanly. Now Trinity got the hard work to do. Wigan will be determined to hold them down there. Don't know whether Trinity have the speed or the guile to come all this distance as Wigan meet them on the 25 line. Arms going hard. Andy Platt been doing a tremendous amount of work, and Slater sends a deep one which bounces away from Lydon. Casually on his own 25, then he suddenly changes up a gear and doesn't get anywhere. Wakefield knocking Wigan down. Wigan are bunched very tightly together, so they're going to come through as a pack. Trinity tackling determinedly. Long pass across onto Hanley. Hanley trying to go down the middle, slips it inside. Nicely handed on there, well backed up. Hanley again, showing them the dummy. Takes play into the Trinity half, but it's 5 tackles gone. And Always seemed to be a bit of mauling. Bell hanging on there, out to Edwards, will send a long pass out, at overhead kick. The referee's given a forward pass on the sixth tackle, so it was with a rollover. Little dummy by the acting halfback. Bell hangs on to him, downs him on the halfway line. Referee penalising him for it. Thompson made a little break from acting halfback. Conway making no mistake with the tap. As Thompson comes up, the crowd urge them on. Glancy's wanting it, Glancy taking them on. Runs into Platt, and Platt has no trouble wrapping him up. Thompson trying to go on his own, a wasted ball. Glancy going up to acting halfback. Out to Shelford, Shelford turns it back. Long pass and coming hard down the middle, and they're over! A great forward run. But there's an injury, there's going to be quite an injury. They're screaming for attention. Price cut through the Wigan defence there, clean as a hot knife through butter. Price, and there was an immediate shout for assistance, but Conway right in front of the post, 12 yards out. 6-12 as he takes this. Well, that was early blood drawn by Trinity. Stabs at it, and it's there. Trinity 8, Wigan 12, and Joe Lydon prepares to kick off. Taken cleanly. And that arose from Wigan giving a penalty away, gave them a lot of ground and set them up in a good try-scoring position. And there was a weakness in the round the play of the ball, this side through the Wigan defence. Now it's the Trinity forwards, and Wigan come tearing in and knock them back. Good low tackling by Dermot. Thompson trying to get his line to Shelford, round to run a long way, showing his strength, managed to offload the ball, and there's a big overlap as Dean Bell read it well, took his man in the fifth tackle. Hanley moving up quickly, kick coming behind the defence. Lydon takes it cleanly, as Myers with him, but he's taken low and hard. Myers now running crossfield, trying to straighten up. Easy target for tackling. Out to Edwards. Edwards holding it. Onto Hanley. Hanley moving it out. Marshall coming inside. Makes a good run. Marshall still going. Good strong run by Marshall. Takes it up to the 25. Dermot coming up. Switching it to Edwards. Edwards doing a switch of direction. The referee coming over. Gives a penalty to Wigan. An obstruction, signals quite graphically that somebody came in and pushed a man off the ball. Lydon being called over. He's 30 yards out, halfway in from this touchline. Eight minutes gone as Lydon sets this up. We're going to need these points. They looked as if they were running away just before half time, and then Trinity really came back in this first 5 minutes. Sometimes Joe can kick them from all over the place. He's not the most consistent, but he can really belt a ball. And that's way off target, nowhere near the post at all. I think Joe must be getting a bit of a complex about these penalty kicks. Wakefield now trying to bring the ball away. Going crossfield. Straightens up, and he probably wishes he hadn't. Wigan in very quickly. Trinity not seeming to like this tackling. Dermot doing a tremendous amount of work. Great boos coming from the crowd as Wigan are stultifying the attack. And Wigan this time penalised for offside. A lot of tension in this game. Conway. Good touch-finding kick. Takes it just inside the Wigan half. This game is a long way from being over. I don't know what they've fed these Trinity forwards on, but they've certainly got a lot of ginger in them as they come tearing at the Wigan pack. And Wigan not putting them down. Ball's gone loose. The referee's penalised Wigan for stealing the ball. It's a kickable penalty. Little conference going on as to what they should do. Conway with it. Decides he's going to kick for goal. It's 10 minutes gone. All the scoring so far coming from Trinity, and Wigan could well regret that missed penalty by Joe Lydon, which was way off target. Conway, a very similar one, almost an identical position at the other end of the ground. A few yards outside the 25 and halfway in from the touchline. Of course, 8-12s as Conway comes up to take this penalty for Wigan, stealing the ball in the tackle, knocking it out of the tackle player's hands, lifts it, and it's over. Only 2 points in it. Once again, Wigan to kick off. And once again, it's taken safely. And Wakefield, Onefields have got the tails up as Wigan start hurling them back towards their own line. And this is a battle of the Titans as these forwards come at each other. Shelford playing extremely hard against his old club, and he's been offloading the ball very well. He's been putting his shoulder in and spraying it out. Kick behind the Wigan defence. Looks like a good one. Lydon can't get there. Rolls into touch. 5 yards outside the Wigan 25. That was a good tactical kick by Trinity. From the scrum, Wigan get it out. Edwards running wide. He's followed, he gets it out well. Bit of mauling going on in the tackle. Hanley trying to bring the ball away. He's gained a lot of ground. He's still powering his way forward. Wigan trying to bludgeon the way through. Edwards. And Price is in, having a very strong game. Dermot. Going from acting half back onto Hanley. Hanley's take no, throws the ball inside. Wigan flip it back. Keeping it going, but running across field at the moment. Coming back inside. Iroh knocking them down as he always does. He knocked somebody 5 yards then. Not got his speed back those. Wigan lob it back to Lydon. Lydon kicks. He's trying to pinpoint it into touch. And that's a great kick by Joe Lydon. A really good tactical touch-finding kick. Pushes Wakefield back to 5 yards from their own line, but they'll have the double advantage here and they should have it out. Only one gone against the head so far, and it was Wigan who lost it.
There's been another car key handed in, which appears that it's a Ford vehicle. This also can be played in the control room. Thank you.
Ball's in on the far side of the scrum. Comes out to Bell. Bell trying to bring it away. Nigel Bell, the Trinity scrum half. And once again we have this hard forward graft. And a good break by the acting half-back. Gets over the 25 line. Crowd applauding every yard that's gained by Trinity. Now the ball's been spread out. Bell's in quickly and smothers his man. His arms wrapped him round. No way he could pass. 5 tackles gone, says the referee, as it's flung for the kick. Lydon taking it. Marshall inside, decides he'll play it safe. As Marshall comes up for the play of the ball. Marshall gonna have a go on his own. Dermot has Edwards on his right, and it's Edwards who gets it. Edwards doing the run around. Wigan running wide. Grovel away over the halfway line. Edwards, short one. Dermot once again going through from acting half-back, still going forward, managed to flick the ball back. Edward onto Bell, Bell going cross-field. We need to straighten up and come down the middle. Wigan just flicking the ball about, finding it difficult to make ground. Now the break's coming on, and they've turned back inside. 5 tackles gone, says the referee, as Marshall onto Edwards. Edwards hoists it, following it. He's played them onside. Ball's bouncing all over the place. Wigan have regained possession. Trinity in the Wigan line out as they turn inside. And the referee says 6 tackles have gone, but will hand it over, and Wakefield will play it on their own 25. Minutes gone. A lot of oohing and ahhing from the crowd as these players take each other on. It's a very physical game tonight. Shelford running wide, handing people off, but not gaining a lot of ground. Bell comes in with Marshall and Goulding. Little run around. Mason easily put down. Thompson behind the play of the ball. Wigan holding hard. Thompson, a long one, moving it across the field, and it's been dropped. Oh, a dolly of a pass dropped. Conway not very happy with himself, and it looks as if a substitution is being made. Very hard to Wigan making a substitution. And it's Lucas who's coming back on. And it's Dutoit who's going off. So both sides making the substitution. Lucas back on. Could well be Platt who's gone off, who had a hard game. Platt's gone off, he had a hard time. And the ball stuck in the pack. Wigan are being pushed off it. Golding managed to get it out to Edwards. Edwards moving it across the field. And good solid tackling by Mason. And Lazenby has come on for Dutoit. Both sides using the substitutes sensibly. Edwards spraying it out. Touch judge is on. Bit of trouble going on as Lucas has got it moving. Touch judge is still on as Wigan are attacking. Referee's not aware of it. A little bit of "how's your father" going on in the tattle. Who's he going to pick on? Long chat going on. And it's to Wakefield, a Wigan player transgressing. Halfway through this second half, 20 minutes gone. 2 points in it, Wigan leading 12 points to 10. Trinity now battling desperately hard, flicking the ball back. Shelford went through onto Lazenby. Lazenby trying to come in, bundled over. Mason waiting behind to play the ball. Mason going through from acting halfback, runs into Lucas. Thompson. Trying to take Wigan on in the forwards, and they're doing quite well. They battered away 10 yards inside the Wigan half. They must think they got the Wigan pack licked. And the ball's been, he's offside. He's going to give the knock on. Well, the ball was, and he's given the offside. The ball was dropped. Picked up in an offside position. Wigan decided they're going to take the tap, not going for touch. Managed to get the ball out, but they've gained very little ground, not a lot produced from that tap penalty. Wigan yet to score in this second half. Not really set themselves up into a scoring position. Edwards, long pass out. Bell onto Iro. Iro knocking him off. Throws a wild pass into touch. Iro not back to his top peak fitness yet. He's strong, but the speed doesn't seem to be there. And probably a little bit of rustiness, short of match practice. As Bell comes over, feeds it out to Lazenby. He's gone into the standoff position, looking more like a second row forward than a standoff half. Conway moving it across, Wigan having to come in, trying to smother the tackle. Thompson just inside his own half. Wigan moving in and they're holding them. Referees waving at Wigan to get back on side. Wigan tackling well at the moment, and they're needing to as they're coming hard at Wigan. Conway sends a long one. Loose forward. Price puts in a long kick behind the Wigan defence. Mortimer there put in a very good kick. Pushed Wigan back into their own 25. Golding to feed. Crowd baying for blood on the far side of the field. Wigan fighting the way forward outside the 25. And no quarter being asked for or given here. That's Lucas. Wigan's moving across the field, not denting this defence at all at the moment. Edwards shimmying his way through, and they're not taking it. They're taking man and ball, and Wigan can't get out of this grip. And they're still on the 25 line after 5 tackles, not an inch of ground been gained. As it's flung back to Lyden, now Lyden gets his kick in. Slater going across for it, and that's a long kick. Slater watches it bounce. And the Wigan defence take him on the halfway line. And the Wigan player flat, I think it's Lyden, flat on his back. And the dummy's Wigan going in. Lyden lifts his head up, he's somewhat shaken. I think there's probably late tackle after he got shut of the ball. Wigan playing without a full-back. I don't know if they know that Lyden is hurt. As Nigel Bell moves it out onto Mortimer. Mortimer gets it onto Conway, bring it inside, and Wigan are cut wide open, and then the cover goes across well. Lyden back on his feet, but it's all Trinity at the moment as Conway changes direction, and there's no Wigan full-back there. Goes over the Wigan try line. And as the referee given the try, there was a loose ball over the Wigan try line. And there was a mix-up in the Wigan defence. Well, Wigan were under a lot of pressure. They were playing without Lydon at full-back. And they were all at 6s and 7s. There was a switch of direction out to the left wing. Little overhead kick and the ball bounced and went, and so there's still only 2 points in it. Now can Wigan pull the irons out of the fire in this last quarter of an hour? Lydon was in a lot of distress there. And it looks as if Wigan have put Marshall to full-back. Oh, and there's a bad mistake. Now Wigan in a good attacking position from the kick-off. Platt's come back on. Lydon gone off. Wigan having to re-sort out the team. Ball straight through. Good way it is, I think he will have gone to centre. I haven't got time to look at the moment as I'm watching this scrum very carefully. Iro is out on the left wing, and Wigan have got a penalty, I think, a differential penalty for not packing down. Looks as if Iro's out on the left wing. Marshall gone to full-back. Edwards coming up. Handing it to Dermot. Dermot takes a tap. Lucas battering his way forward. He's held 2 yards short. Long pass going out. Wigan gone back a little bit. They've now more room to manoeuvre though. Goes out to Edwards. Edwards moving it along the line. On to Hanley. Hanley sees a gap. Trying to go through it. Turns it back inside. Wigan keeping it moving. Trinity tackling desperately. Wigan's line out looking very ragged out on this side of the field. And they decide to attack the other way. And a penalty for offside as Wigan went over, but they probably drew back as the whistle had gone. Wigan with a penalty, 10 yards out. 2 points in it, 14 points to 12. Wigan going to take the tap, and once again it's the forwards who are grafting towards the line. Lucas even setting himself up for it. They don't give it to him. Wigan can't get into any gear at all as it comes out to Edwards. Edwards holding it, dumming with it. Wigan still trying to bash the way through, and they're hanging on like grim death. And a penalty again. Wigan take it quickly. Hanley going for the line. Is held a few yards short, and Trinity giving away a lot of penalties. Wigan still can't get the points on as Golding's waiting first pass. It goes to Golding, on to Edwards. Edwards jumping with it, having to come back, trying to dance through on his own, but there's no way through this packed defence. Stretched out along the line now. Wigan have a big overlap if they can get it going, and they're battering the way to the line, and once again they're being pulled back. Forward pass. The referee giving the scrum. Yes. Well, Wigan striving might and main at the moment, and Trinity were very desperate and gave away a lot of penalties, but this should relieve them. As the ball goes in the pack and it wheels. Long one, Lazenby's dropped it. Wigan have got it, they've a big overlap if they get it out. They're going for the line, they must score! And they dropped the ball with the line wide open. And a penalty. Well, it's all nerves and tension out there. Wigan had a massive overlap there. As they were going over, the ball was dropped. Well, that could have been the killer punch. And Lazenby dropped the ball. Wigan snatched it, moved it quickly out to the left, and with the line wide open, it was dropped, and then a mouth was opened, and Wigan penalised. Trinity with it now in their own 25. Nigel Bell waiting for the play of the ball. Does a little shimmy across the field, moving along the 25 line. Well, this crowd buzzing with excitement. They got a thrill there as mistakes almost brought points, and that's a good clearing run from Trinity. Trinity fighting with a heart attack. Conway moving it across, being turned back inside, still keeping the ball moving. Conway lobs a long overhead pass out onto his wing, and it rolls into touch. So this should be Wigan's put in. A desperate last 10 minutes as it comes out to Edwards. Edwards lobbing it across, and Wigan is snuffed out. Can't get moving. Edwards behind the play of the ball, going on his own, trying to sidestep his way through. Now Wigan playing it the hard way. Now they're keeping it in the forwards. Now Wigan spreading it across, a long one. Wigan trying to go down the middle. It's down. 5 tackles gone, says the referee. Kick for touch. And it's a good kick. Good kick, pushing Trinity back into their own 25. But I think Trinity now, what we have, we hang on to. Players go back wearily. It's been a hard, tough-fought contest. And it will be Trinity to feed. Back wheeling. And Trinity have got it out. Wigan desperate to get their hands on this ball. Trinity a couple of yards out from their own line. Wigan will be careful they don't get offside here as they come up quickly and hard. The referee penalising them, giving relief to Wakefield. Conway to kick them out of trouble. Not quite up to the 25, but the minutes are ticking away as Iro goes into the middle of the field. Wigan made a switch. Iro gone back into his centre position. Probably wanting him where he can get into the attack, but Wigan can't get their hands on the ball. Wigan not got a Lazenby trying to come through the centre. Rolled over. Flung back by Slater. Kick behind the defence. Marshall having to go a long way for it. An awkward bouncing ball. Wigan get the possession. Trinity back off the 10 yards. Wigan still trying to keep it moving. Lazenby's up there. Wigan cannot get into gear. Coming down the middle from acting half-back. A long way to go. Wigan running wide, running cross-field. Long lob pass, flicked in. Marshall having to go back for it. Manages to take it cleanly, gets out of a tattle. But they're tackling like demons now, Trinity. Five tackles gone, says the referee. As Dermot comes up. On to Edwards. Edwards going to kick. So grubber kick, it's rolling. Not going to find touch, it's rolling. Slater's across in his own 25. Infinite care. Trinity now moving it out wide. They've been held in their own 25. Handling the ball well and not letting it go. But last 5 minutes coming up now. Trinity hanging on for dear life. This precious 2 points, 14 points to 12. Wigan at Shelford trying to come through, go in, and he gets his pass in and it's gone loose. Can Wigan drop on it? Hanley has it. turning and twisted. Hanley going over the 25 line now. Last gasp effort here from Wigan as Edwards comes up. Wigan once more trying these hard tactics. Quick play the ball, moving it out. Turning back inside, 10 yards out from the line. Referee going over to see what's going on in the tattle. Once again, Wigan's forcing the way forward, ball not moving along the line. Golding, short one onto Hanley. Hanley can't get through, held in the fifth tattle. Golding waiting for first pass. Has Edwards on his outside, it goes to Golding. Golding puts a little grubber kick, it's over the try line, and it goes dead. He was a yard short of getting it down. Well, the ball bounced well for Trinity when they tried it, bounced badly for Wigan there. Lazenby charging forward, nearly through, gains a good 12 yards of ground. Playing the hearts out, Trinity. And that was a lucky one for the loose forward. Did well Mortimer then. Wigan must feel that this game is slipping away from them as Thompson comes over to behind the play the ball. They fought the way into the Wigan half. They played the hearts out of Trinity. Not a lot of guile, but a lot of effort. Acting half back, ploughing his way forward, goes down in the fifth tattle. And Nigel Bell bringing his wingman inside. And that must be sixth tattle, be Wigan to play, hand over in their own 25. And they're offside, it's a penalty to Wigan, as a Wigan player flattened after they play the ball. Iro. Wigan take the tap. Still knocking them off. Can't get the ball out. Still going. Well, that was all Hart that was making that drive. Wigan now battling the way up to the halfway line. Playing with 12 men at the moment with a player flat out. That's a slow pass. Edwards puts an overhead kick. He's there to take it. Took it well. Lucas coming up to acting half-back. Crowd screaming for full time as Wigan move it out towards the right wing. And the covers across. Lobbed inside. Wigan trying anything and everything. Long one coming out. Can he make something of this? Bringing inside to Dean Bell. Dean Bell having to go on his own down the middle. Still going. Bell turning down the middle. Good run by Bell. Hanley. Wigan trying to get it out the way. Can they hang on to it? Ball bobbing about all over the place and Wigan have lost it. And I make it now, we're in injury time. There was a long stoppage when Price got hurt. But Trinity have it, and I've no doubt they will stuff it up the jumpers now for these dying seconds. Hanging on to this 2 points lead. Wigan not managed to get a point on the board at all in this second half. Had one goal, penalty goal, which was way off target. Now we're on the Wakefield 25. Ball held safely, that's 5 tackles gone. And there's the kick. This should be covered. Wigan have it. Going inside. Last gasp effort this must be as Hanley comes up. Hanley moving it across onto Edwards. Edwards dummies, and he's almost through, and his legs are taken from him from behind. And there goes the hooter. Great delight, a roar, a mad roar of applause from Wakefield. Having defeated Wigan, they will be pleased with that one. They've beaten Hull, and now they've got the Wigan scalp. And so we come to the end of what has been an exciting, tense Second half, Wigan not managing to get anything on the board, and so they go off with the final score: Wakefield 14, Wigan 12.